State Street Global Advisors, and Randy Warren is the Chief Investment Officer with Warren Financial Service. Randy, I'll start with you. Are you worried about the impact this could have, a problem as big as Italy, on U.S. stocks?
Yeah, it's hard for individual investors to figure out why does this matter to the United States, or what does this really mean, because as you have said, we've seen this movie before, and we're kind of chalking this up to what we would call a geopolitical plunge. These are risks that you don't want to take for granted, even though they're hard to understand.
So what does that mean in terms of actionable information? Do you make any portfolio moves?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we look at it from our clients' perspectives, and we say, listen, if you're a Gen X person, you want to look for buying opportunities. You want to look for, days when the market is down like today, or sometime in the near future. If this continues to be an unfolding problem, you can wait a few days and pick up shares of some really nice stocks, the FANG stocks, and anything that has done extremely well in the earnings season that just finished up would be a great way to play that. But if you're a little bit older, baby boomers or the greatest generation, you need to be a little bit more concerned and maybe a little bit more cautious. And in any case, you need to worry about, what if this thing takes a 10 or 15% downward turn? How am I going to react to that? What's my outlook? How long am I in this thing for? And what's going to happen later this year? We always like to think about 6 months ahead. And, if this, Italian situation flares up and gets worse, it probably means less rate hikes here in America. That could be good news down the road for investors, but it could also mean a lot of pain in the short term.
Michael, there are a lot of bricks in the wall of worry right now. There's North Korea, there are trade tensions, and now Italy added to the mix, not to mention domestic politics here in the United States. So how should you, as an investor, think about this sort of rising wall of worry right now?
Well, I'm concerned that many of the catalysts that have been driving the stock market higher in the last 12 months are all beginning to fade at the same time. Tyler, you mentioned a few of them. So this global synchronized growth recovery is starting to fade. Fiscal policy really hasn't provided the boost that we were expecting to the economy, not yet anyway. And corporate profits may have peaked in the first quarter. So what's interesting, though, is that although global growth and corporate profits may have peaked, they are still growing. Although monetary policy conditions are tightening, they continue to do so gradually. And fiscal policy should help. Corporate earnings are still growing. So I do still think that investors should be positioned in global cyclicals, technology, industrials, financials. I'm not positioning portfolios too defensively just yet.
Let's take a closer look at what is exactly happening in Europe and how it's affecting U.S. markets. Our Wilfred Frost joins us now. It's kind of complicated with the government there.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated. So initially over the last month, we'd already seen risk assets in Italy fall, yields on Italian debt rise, because the prospect of a coalition government between the two populist...
Whoa, stop. What is going on here? Well, what you're looking at is a plummeted price of AutoZone stock in just a matter of an hour or two, when it went up pre-market from 710 and fell later in the day all the way to 596. Why should you care? By utilizing a very simple option strategy, we were able to turn every $1,000 of investment from 9:30 in the morning till 10:45 a.m. into an excess of $10,000. That's right, literally a $10,000 investment produced in excess of $100,000 in gains. The crazy truth about stocks and options trading: most of the fortunes were created when stocks fall. So if you're not utilizing this crazy strategy, you're definitely missing out on thousands of dollars, and you're leaving that money on the table for somebody else. Look, these are the facts. Just think about it. Stocks drop actually much, much faster than it takes them to climb higher. So just take a look. There's your AZO graph right here. It took it a month, 2 months to get from this 580 level all the way to about 700. And look how fast it dropped just in one day. Now, how do we know that this had a potential to happen? Look, it has a history of doing these things at the same level at around 700. It did it last time during the earnings report. So you don't have to be a rocket science. You just got to know which stocks, when to take action, and you got to know how to find the stocks. Has it ever occurred to you that every day when the market goes higher, there is plenty of stocks that actually drop? Because if every day some stocks did not drop, then the market would go to the moon, just like Bitcoin, right? The reality of life, everything that goes up must come down. Look at the housing bubble in 2008. Bitcoin prices, when nobody believed, we put a recommendation at 18,800 to short Bitcoin. In other words, to make money when it falls. The bottom line is this: you don't need a market crash for you to actually profit on stocks falling. The opportunities are there every single day. You just got to know where to look for. If you grasp the simple idea that stocks fall much faster than they go up, you will be able to become a much more effective and efficient stock or options trader. Okay, hold on. So what you're saying is while everybody's chasing the stocks on the way higher, the real money is actually made when stocks drop. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you'd like to learn more about this fascinating and yet such a simple strategy, I invite you to go behind the scenes with me, where I will reveal to you how I turned 12,000 into 466,000 in less than 7 hours trading options with this strategy. And I know this sounds crazy, but I actually did it. And I want to share with you all the specifics, all the details of how I was able to accomplish that. So if you'd like to become a better trader, take action now. Click the link on the button below. Life is too short. Don't waste another minute. Today is your day.